17th of April, 10 a.m. The Old Bailey courtroom. In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session. This trial shall determine the guilt or innocence of Miss Gina Lestrade. I now call upon the counsel for the prosecution and defense to declare their willingness to proceed. Oh God, the prosecution is ready. The defense? If you touch a hair on Gina's head, I will actually slap you around the place. The defense is ready. Lord Van Zinks, my lord, remind me, how many years ago was it that you withdrew from the public prosecution service? I know this is not very needed, but we'll talk about it anyway. It was some 5 years ago, my lord. We know this. Yes, and then 2 months ago you were serviced somewhat unexpectedly, and here you are again today. Yeah, we know this. Out of some circumstances I wish the court should be aware that have led to this erratic behavior. In what might describe as your former life, 5 years past, you dealt exclusively in matters concerned with the highest echelons of society and government. Really? Yet today you choose to try a simple case of burglary and murder. I confess, I find it both a little befuddling, counsel. I mean, he's been doing this for the past 3 trials now. There are 2 types of person I cannot abide. Okay, dude. Firstly, those who wealthy scoundrels who hide behind a mask of philanthropy to cheat the public at large. He means McGilded, who he defended against the Reaper 2 months ago. Yes, I just managed to work that out. So Iris is our little assistant. That's cool. Max McGilded. If I know what a monster he was, I never would have defended him. And secondly, I knew he was a monster. Even more loathsome. Those willy scoundrels who massacred as allies. Who masquerade, as allies, only to effect total betrayal in the final hour. Oh, like you. He's talking about himself, which is kind of weird. Like, I wouldn't talk about myself that way. Like, I think sometimes you just need to, like, you know, be nice to yourself. In other words, the confident strictures from those tiny islands of Far East Nipponese. Okay, you racist son of a bitch. Oh, I shouldn't have said that word. That just came out, guys, and I apologize. I shouldn't have said the B word. That's my bad. Did we just say that? He means you, Reno. I actually managed to work that out, too. Thank you, Iris. Total betrayal. What are you talking about? That torrid look of hatred in Lord Van Zeek's eyes. Was that directed solely at me, or was he talking about the all Japanese people? An alarmingly scathing explanation, Lord Van Zeeks. Still, the judiciary welcomes the return of the so-called Reaper of the Bailey, feared by all London's malefactors. Your lordship is too kind. I'm glad that I was able to say something so bad and not be punished at all for it. Now, jurors. Oh god, well, who are the jurors? Who are at random? Who is it? Okay, let's see who it is. Anyone we... Whoa! Hold on just a second here. No! 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 I'm saying no. First of all, the guy on the far right is the guy who's on the run. No, the guy who, like, isn't he, like, pretty evil or something? Or something like that? Or something happened like that? Isn't he a guy on the run from, like, people? Like, we know this right away. I'll point him out right now. I should be able to point him out right now. The guy on the freaking... This is freaking what's-his-face again. The guy who was, like... He keeps staring, who, like, was really mean to his wife at some point. Or him and his wife for fighting. That's... You can't have him on trial. The other people are okay, I guess. This guy was already a juror. And this girl was already a juror. Like, this... They have some, like, really personal stakes in this. So I am officially... declaring this game over, because I cannot abide by this. I cannot abide by this at all. Former lieutenant of the British Army here, don't you know, chaps like me were born ready. Clean crockery, clean cutlery, I clean clutches. Okay.
Everything will be stereoscopic in the future. Absolutely everything. I'm ready for it.
I don't understand it. I can't have left it in there. It's not possible. But could I have?
Women indispensable to society. Stop. Female-centric future awaits. Stops. Good day. I am visiting London for sightseeing. I would like to take the bus to Crystal Tower, please.
Come on. I'll point him out right now. Is something wrong, Reno? Oh, not exactly. It's just, this is a really bad jury. I'm pretty sure I recognize these jurors. Almost all of them, in fact. Really? Funny coincidences like that do happen from time to time, don't they? But it's quite strange that jurors are chosen at random from London's 6 million inhabitants, you know. So I've been led to believe. But something tells me I've been duped.
Very well now, Lord Van Zeeks. The court calls upon the prosecution to introduce the facts of the case.
You can introduce any facts you want. Doesn't matter. Facts won't help you now. Allow me to begin with a word of warning to the ladies and gentlemen of the jury. In short, ba-doom, ba-cheeky boom. There has never been a more self-evident case of cold-blooded murder. The victim, Mr. Pop Windybank, proprietor of the pawn shop on Baker Street, was shot from behind and died instantly. The prosecution presents this photographic print of the crime scene. As the court will observe, there is a single bullet wound just below the gentleman's left shoulder. The evidence suggests that the bullet pierced the man's heart, resulting in the near-instant death. Moving on to the findings of Scotland Yard's coroner. His report states that the bullet entered the body on a rising diagonal trajectory.
What's that supposed to tell us?
It means that the victim was likely shot by someone significantly shorter in height than himself. Someone like the accused, you might say.
Or there was literally a shorter person in the silhouettes. There was a short silhouette and a tall silhouette. So that's it. We solved the case.
The prosecution wishes to present the autopsy report and crime scene photograph as evidence, my lord.
Indeed, the court accepts. Hand them to the bailiff, please. The autopsy report prepared by Scotland Yard. Coroner confirms the instant death due to a single bullet wound from the back. There are no signs of trauma. I'm so glad that Mr. Windybank's not alive, though. Because I don't have to do the voices for him. That was always that was the hardest voice. That was the hardest voice in the entire game so far. Just because I had to, like, put my lip above my other lip. And it was drying out my lips. It was very not fun to do. A photograph of the victim found murdered in the storm. It shows a single bullet wound in the man's back.
I now ask the court to turn its attention to this plan of the establishment where the incident occurred. The proprietor was found in the storeroom where he kept articles pawned to him. The windowless room with a single point of entry, a door to the main shop that was found locked. There were only two persons present. The victim, Mr. Windybank, and the accused. It may further interest the court to know that when the accused was discovered at the scene, she had in her hand the gun used to fire the fatal bullet.
I mean, she did, but at the same time, she didn't.
She's one of the filthy drabs that live in the slums.
Oh well, that's so bad. Shut your mouth, blood in your hands then. What are the jurors waiting for? The guilty girl's guilty as hell. Okay, I have an idea here. Could we murder everyone in the audience there? Could we do that, please?
We can't jump to conclusions here. We mustn't assume her guilt because of what she had to do to survive.
Be quiet, okay? Van Zeeks, be quiet. I have no time for you. Gina's our girl.
My learned Liberty's friend. Is it you who mustn't jump to conclusions? The prosecution has barely begun presenting its case. Conveniently, this appalling act of murder did not go unobserved. There were witnesses.
Good gracious. Just like last time when the witnesses were shite.
After their testimony, this girl's true nature will be exposed. Pitiful pickpurse or cold-hearted killer. Here's to establishing the truth.
The court will take the full plan of formed evidence. Hand better, Lord Van Zeeks.
At once, my lord. The crime scene floor plan has been entered into the court record.
A plan of Windybank's pawnbroker, the scene of the crime. It shows the relative positions of the main shop and the rear storeroom. A gun belonging to the victim, Mr. Windybank, that Gina was holding. When she was found unconscious, there are signs of a single discharge.
This isn't good. I feel like the mood in here has turned very gloomy all of a sudden, Reno. I think that's because it has... Let us begin. Bring forth the witnesses to the foul murder of Mr. Pop Windyback on the 16th of April this year. Come on! Come on! Stop this! Cease this right now! I don't even care if they're found innocent. They're murderers. Look at these guys. Witnesses, state your names and occupation for the court.
Name's Nash Skulkin. Occupation is professional battery.
Come on, guys.
Name's Ringo Skulkin. Occupation is same as him.
To Boys Correction, Scotland Yard Inspector. What are these guys?
That's right. We're what they call the Three Skulkin Brothers.
You in that, Gregson, too? I knew you were a skulking brother.
What are you looking at me there for? Don't let me in with you lot.
Call blimey, that's cold. Don't you know what we're going through? It's so old and bruv, lost conquering we have. So we're scouring every shady corner of the capital. And last night we come across you, the very spirit of the bloke, ain't that right, Ringo? He's Nash, he's the very spirit of him. So we decided there was what we was gonna do. We was gonna call you.
Oh my god, I love them. Big bruv Skulky. I love them.
Come on, leave it out, you two.
I love it. Yes! This trial could go on for 10 more hours, I don't care. And that's before he's run out of chips.
Well done, Inspector Skulky Regson. Begging your pardon, my lord, the name's Tobias. What I would like to know, Inspector, is what you are doing in the witness stand.
The Skulking brothers are currently under arrest, my lord, on suspicion of theft.
Thieves they are, these three. No, my lord, begging your pardon, but please don't lump me in with this lot.
2 nights ago, these brothers illegally entered an establishment with the intent to burgle. And in the course of their nefarious activities, they became embroiled in a far more sinister crime.
By Jove, you mean to say what an extraordinary coincidence?
They're deadly. I love them.
Indeed, my lord.
While attempting to burglarize the pawnbroker, they witnessed its proprietor's murder. Wow. But look at that. He's on a box. Someone accused. This is true. He's the murderer. The various trespasses of these brothers is not subject to today's proceedings, though they will naturally face trial in the very near future.
With your lordship's permission, I'd like to remain in the stand to keep these gents on the straight and narrow.
You are one of the Skulky brothers, so I suppose that makes sense. Skulky number 10.
Of course, Inspector. Sorry. Of course, Inspector. Skeptical as I am about the caliber of these witnesses, I'll permit them to take the stand.
Mr. and Mrs. Skulkin, you will now testify before the court. Describe the events of the night in question, and what exactly you saw.
Happy to. 'Cause a skulkin's never skulkin'.
What? Gregson, do it! Gregson, do it now! Get out of it. You get out of it. Do it now. You're one of the Skulkin brothers. Oh my god. Ah!
We was walking down Baker Street in the small hours ago, was the door was ajar, see? It was like some kind of begging for us to go in, it was. But once we got inside, called blimey, lammy, we heard a gunshot from the back room. We went to see what was, but the door was locked from the inside. We never done nothing, governor. We never took nothing. We just left after nice and quiet.
I believe him. You know what, Gina, I'm sorry. You're going away. No, Calvin, don't do this to Gina. Calvin, don't do this to Gina. Calvin, you're such a bad person. I don't even know what to do, though. Like, to me, it's like...
This is like the greatest game of all time. They're so funny to me. I don't know why.
A terrible coincidence it would seem.
Yeah, sure.
At the precise moment these miscreants entered the property, an even more sinister crime was afoot.
The witness's testimony is consistent with the crime seen in every detail. The door providing access to the storeroom from the main shop was indeed locked from the inside, and within, only the victim and the accused were found.
I must say it does appear to be an overwhelmingly simple case. Still, the defense may cross-examine the witness now, of course. Counsel, if you please. Counsel?
Yes. What's the matter, Runo? Sorry, I was just stunned into silence for a minute by the blatant lies being told by the pair in the stand. I know it's all nonsense, because I saw it with my own eyes. I just have to expose their testimony for a pack of lies. I don't know, they seem pretty trustworthy to me. I love this presentation of this here, it's really good. Illegal entry. We was walking down Big Street. Oh, yeah, let's press this. Let's press everything, I suppose. The front door of Windybanks was ajar, you say? What time of the night was this? Must have been about, 1, right, Ringo?
Yeah, I'd say so. Right, Skulky?
Yeah, right, Skulky? Oh, what I know? First one was shot in 1 in the morning, just like every other shop in town.
Well, it was pitch black inside. It's true, ain't that right, Ringo?
I'm not so sure now. I seem to remember a little light burning inside. What were you, Skulky, me old mucker?
Yeah, what about you, mucker? What about mucker?
Leave me alone.
Skulky, answer your brothers. There definitely was a small lad burning inside. That was alerted to the situation in the first place.
And when these gentlemen ventured into the open establishment, the accused, Miss Jane Lestrade, already had the muzzle of her gun trained on the unfortunate victim.
Objection! Stop it there. Objection!
That is pure conjecture.
Perhaps, but it changes nothing. These brothers inadvertently wandered into the middle of a cold-blooded murder, simply because they found the door to the victim's establishment open and ventured inside.
What? That's what happened.
It was like some kind of sign beggars for to go in, it was. You just walk into establishments like that. What are you trying to suggest? That you had to go in?
Well, God moves in mysterious ways, they say, don't it, they Ringo? They do, yes, they do. Must have been some sort of providence, I reckon.
God's will often presents itself as a whim of thieves, does it?
It weren't no whim, I'm sure of that. It weren't, yes, it won't, like we said at the time. You don't just find doors open in the middle of the night like that. Nah, there's no two ways about it. It was a sign that a long-lost brother was inside.
Not very good liars, are they? They were looking for Gregson.
You can't deny that. You can't deny it. The little bloke just looks like our bruv.
I said cut it out. Those chips are getting chomping today.
But once we got inside, called blimey, I heard a gunshot for the back room.
I'm pressing everything because I'm not quite sure what to press, and I also trust him. A gunshot, you say just the one? Are you sure about that?
Yep, just the one, Governor. I could swear to that. It was, Nash, it was. Ain't that right, bruv?
Ain't that right, bruv?
A firearm used belonged to the victim himself.
I love the Three Skulky Brothers. It's like one of the best things they ever did in this game. Like, legit, I think the Skulky Brothers is like a triumph. Like, they should keep this in like every single freaking every single game. Not every game, but every single like part of this trial. If they're not in the next game either, I'm not playing it. Yes, Mr. Winnick always used to leave this gun lying around on the counter. Right, I remember that.
When we examined it, we found the revolver was completely out of rounds.
That makes sense. Mr. Winnick always used to say he only ever kept a single bullet loaded. That's true. I remember him saying that as well.
So we can say with considerable certainty that only a single round was discharged from the firearm used as the murder weapon. Yes, my lord, we can.
And I should remind the court that the firearm in question was discovered in the hand of the accused.
Wonderful. Look at little Ringo. Little Ringo, our boy.
We were to see what was what.
Yeah, let's present. Look, again, I'm pressing everything. I'm pressing absolutely everything. I might even press your ma'am, so. Do you mean the door between the main shop and the storeroom?
If my learned friend is having quite difficulty grasping the situation, perhaps a drawing would help.
Okay.
Excluding the shop's entrance from the street, there is only one other door. That's the store. That was the store.
You're also going to prove why she was lying on the floor, because that's something I don't even know about.
Of course, there was only a little oil lamp burning, not much to see, boy. And the door was hidden behind a curtain and all.
That's quite right. Beautiful. When we arrived, the door was mostly obscured by the curtain. Tell me, why exactly did you try to open the door? That door? Any normal petty thief would just run at the sound of a gunshot, I should think.
Oh, well, your turn to wear it, Ringo. Well, Nash, yeah. I suppose you'd have to say we ain't normal, eh?
Broadly speaking, humans respond in two ways of hearing a gunshot or scream. The timid flee, gripped by fear, while the courageous investigate to see if they might help.
I guess I'm timid. If I hear a gunshot, I'm going. See you later. Bye-bye. I will leave. You'll never see me again. You'll be like, oh my god, where's Calvin gone? Where's Calvin gone? Calvin got out of there. Calvin didn't want to be there anymore. Calvin will never speak to you again.
These gentlemen of the Latin Collection, my learned Nippity's friend, it would seem that, what is the former? Right, so I just proved that I was a coward that night.
Thank you, counsels. So I believe we all understand that the door was locked and could not be opened. Proceed, witnesses.
We never done nothing, Governor. We never done nothing. We just left after that nice and quiet.
I didn't mean to present something. Sorry, there you go. We're pressing this as well. You didn't take anything? Is that your story?
Well, it was Bedlam soon, weren't it? It was, Nash, it was. Didn't even have time to pull me dukes out from the Lucy Lockets.
Your dukes out from Lucy Lockets? What tells your dukes? What the hell is your dukes? Oh, you like your dukes like your fists? Is that what you're saying? So with no time to take your hands out of your pockets, you just left nice and quietly, you say?
That's right, Governor. Nothing we ain't more than violence, peace-loving nibblers we are, not bludgers. We are, Nash, we are. Never even pulled me dukes out, me Lucy Lockets.
So you clearly like us to believe.
Come again.
As you fled from the pawnbroker that night, did you not run into anyone else? And did you not fire a gun at that person? Oh yeah, we're talking about, Sholmes, right? Sholmes.
Saints alive, they fired a gun, you say? Who else would have fired it? Blimey, Governor. You ain't told us it was you in the doorway.
It was. Oh, they're shocked now. Look at this.
Why, the bleeding roar. Didn't you mention that before?
You were armed with a gun, and so you fled the scene. You fired that gun at London's greatest detective, Sherlock Sholmes. On the night in question, this pair were arrested by the police within minutes of the discovery of the crime scene. Their suspicious countenance rapidly gave them away. And when searched, a firearm was indeed found in their possession. Furthermore, the barrel shows sign of a shot having been fired from it. Oh, that's a cool little pirate gun. The prosecution investigates lawyers who examine the firearm recovered from these brothers.
Yes, indeed. Remnants of powder on the muzzle, as you say, counsel. The court will hold this weapon as evidence.
The Skulking Brothers' gun has been added to enter the courtroom record. So the three Skulking Brothers had this gun, I suppose? The firearm found in the possession of the Skulking Brothers. Upon their arrest, there are signs that a single round was fired
Now, my learned Nipponese friend. That's not my voice. This is my voice. Yes?
Here's to you successfully presenting the evidence. For yes, there are telltale signs of spent powder on this gun and a single bullet missing from the cylinder.
Oh, we have to check out the court record. Check it out. 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 Ooh, wow. We should have examined everything. So we just have to look at the barrel, I suppose. So, their ammunition is still loaded in 5 of this revolver 6 cylinders. Yes, which tells us that only a single shot has been fired from it. Exactly. The bullet hit Hurley, in fact, isn't it? Yes, it happened almost as soon as he walked in through the Windy Bag's door. I'll make those brothers pay. Okay, cool. Cool. We should probably examine this as well. Just see if there's anything else that we can do as well. This is Mr. Windy Bag's gun. The cylinder is completely empty. Mr. Windy Bag always used to keep this gun in hand in his shop counter. Yes, but only ever with a single bullet loaded, I understand. That's right, to keep all the pawned articles that were in his care safe. But his one bullet was fired that night, and the poor man lost his life. Was he protecting his shop, I wonder? Trying to keep the articles safe? I don't think we have to, maybe we don't have to examine stuff like this. Yeah, because it's just like, yeah, it's just a full floor plan. Okay,
Objection!
Objectionable. Well, I don't need evidence. Because I was there.
Objection!
That was a big objection. However, the rest of us in this courtroom were not. If the defense fails to provide evidence in support of this rash claim, we shall have no choice but to toast your incompetence and move on.
Look at these guys. Oh, the three Skulky brothers as well. Like, this is really difficult for all 3 of them. Evidence that these 2 fired the gun before they left Windy Bag tonight. Yeah, the 3 of them, I don't know how they...
The court demands that all claims are affirmed with clear proof. What evidence shows that you witness unloaded a firearm on the pawnbroker that night?
This, right? This one here. Yeah. Yeah, the bullet. There you go.
Take that!
The evidence is in this portfolio.
What do you have there, counsel?
During the course of our investigations, we discovered a number of bloodstains.
Not trusting the police to do the job they're trained to do. How arrogantly Nipponese of you.
Guess what? I don't even trust the police to do the job they don't do. I don't even trust the police to get up in the morning, so what are you talking about?